Hey everyone, today I just wanted to show off some of the CDs that I own. I collect mostly punk and pop punk CDs and things adjacent to that. I don't have a huge CD collection at this point. I mostly collect vinyl ever since high school, and when I got my first job, I started to buy more vinyl. I had a bit more income, so a lot of these CDs are going to be from middle school and early high school for me. So it's not a ton of stuff that I still listen to. Some of it I do, some of it I don't. But the first album we're going to show off today is Green Day's American Idiot. This is one of the first albums I ever fell in love with. I received this from my dad, as well as a bunch of other CDs, but this was the one that really kick-started my love for music, my love for this type of music, and even an interest in politics through songs like Holiday and American Idiot. So it really, honestly, it did. Like, I know people are often like, oh, this changed my life, but this, legitimately did. I would not be the person I am today without this album. I don't really love it the way I used to. Just Green Day as a whole, honestly, kind of something I've grown out of. I still appreciate the music, but it's not on heavy rotation or anything. If I had to pick some favorites off of here, I would probably say G-Stuff Suburbia. This is probably their magnum opus song. Give Me Novocaine's one I really love. Letter Bomb. And What's Your Name is probably my favorite song on this album. Very important album for me and for, I just think, this sort of genre of music and for the band as a whole. If we open it up, there's the CD. This is really funny. This is from 2004, so we do have some ringtones you can get. So Longview, Basket Case, Brain Stew, some other songs, you can get those for your flip phone if you want. And you can listen to When I Come Around whenever somebody calls you. So that's cool. Another Green Day album I wanted to show off here is 21st Century Breakdown. This is sort of the spiritual sequel. I've always seen people refer to it as the cousin or the little brother to American Idiot. I definitely agree with that. It's definitely one that I liked a lot more in middle school. I'm not huge on it now. If I had to pick favorites, probably Restless Heart Syndrome. I really like Last Night on Earth. I think that's a very beautiful ballad. Horseshoes and Hand Grenades is another cool song. This kind of very similar to American Idiot is telling a story, and I thought that was very cool in middle school. I'd never seen anything or listened to anything quite like that before. It's a good album for sure. I kind of do think Green Day maybe should have stopped after this album. I like there's the songs I like on the trilogy. I like Revolution Radio. I'm not huge on their two most recent albums, but for me this is kind of American Idiot and this back-to-back are kind of the peak of this band in terms of this sort of style, and I don't think they've quite been able to recapture it since then. So that is 21st Century Breakdown. This next album is a best of the Who collection. It's the Millennium collection. I'm not the biggest Who fan. I don't really like greatest hits either, so this isn't something I've put on in a very, very long time. That's what the CD looks like. If I had to pick three favorites off of here, I really like My Generation, Behind Blue Eyes, and Who Are You are some songs on this album that I would say I like. Again, not the biggest Who fan, but it's a greatest hits collection, so you can't really go too wrong with it. Next album we're going to talk about is the Foo Fighters' The Color and the Shape. This is a good record of theirs, one of the better ones. I don't really listen to a ton of Foo Fighters anymore. Let's see what the inside of it looks like. We got some people standing on what looks like stools. Very cool. And we got the booklet over here. We got Monkey Wrench on here. That's one I like. Wind Up is another good one. Everlong's obviously just a classic song. Really good album from them. I haven't listened to it in a long time. Maybe I'll put it on later today. Our next one is Catfish and the Bottlemen, The Ride. I have not listened to this probably in over 5 years. This was a big record for me in 8th and 8th grade. They opened for Green Day when I saw them in 2017, and that was cool. And they got a lot of radio play where I live, which is interesting. I remember really liking Twice, Soundcheck, Postpone, Oxygen. Have not listened to this in a while. Maybe I should put it on. I don't know if this band is even still around anymore. I don't think they are. But this is a very cool sort of alternative rock record from the 2010s that is probably a bit underrated in the grand scheme of things now. Alright, this next one is Weezer's Blue Album. The only Weezer album I would say I really like is this one. Have not listened to Weezer religiously probably since middle school. I don't really have much to add when it comes to the conversations around this album. It's obviously a classic and it's a meme at this point. If I had to pick some favorites off of here, I really like Sir Fox America. That's probably my favorite on here. I like Holiday, Only in Dreams. It's a good album. It's obviously deserves the classic status it has. It deserves to be dunked on the way that it is. The only album from them I can say I really truly like is this one. I like Pinkerton as well, and a handful of other songs off of their other records, but this is the one for me. I apologize, I kind of lied to you guys a little bit. This isn't all alternative rock and punk CDs, but I do have a copy of The Weeknd's Dawn FM. This is his, I believe, second to most recent album. I'm not the biggest Weeknd fan, but I do like this album a lot. As you can see, though, I haven't opened it. I bought this when it came out, and just have not listened to it. So, don't know if it was a waste of money or not, but it is something I own. I like Gasoline, I like Less Than Zero. Those are two tracks I think are very cool. I don't know, I think this is a divisive album amongst his fans. I don't really know. I'm not really in the Weeknd discourse like that, but I think it's a cool record, so I decided to pick it up, and maybe one day I'll put it in the old CD player. Alright, the next one I have here is State Champs Around the World and Back. This is the deluxe edition of the album, so it comes with some bonus tracks, some live tracks, some acoustic tracks, as deluxe editions do. This is very cool. It comes with a DVD that's on the other side of here that is a documentary about the making of the album and the tour, I believe. So that is neat. Probably the last album from them I can say I really truly loved. Eyes Closed is great, Secrets is great, I like Losing Myself, Shape Up. Breaking Ground is another one I like. There's some good tracks on here, some really cool tracks. The Finer Things is probably the better album of their two early works, but this is a good album. I don't really listen to them too much these days. I saw them at Warped Tour back in 2018. Thought they were really great live. This album had just come out at that point. I don't know, maybe one day I'll find more albums from them that I like, but this is kind of the last one I really truly loved from them. We're going to deviate just a little bit. We got this James Brown Greatest Hits. This was something my dad had on a lot when I was, I don't know, maybe 3 or something. I can't really remember listening to it, but apparently it was something that I liked, even if the songs weren't maybe something I should be listening to at that point. But I own a copy of it now, and I couldn't really tell you which ones I like off of here, because I haven't listened to it in a very, very long time, but it is something that I do think had influence on me as I got older and joined jazz band in middle school and high school. So, cool record. So that's my James Brown CD, only one I have. Next up we got Ignition by The Offspring. Not the biggest Offspring fan, but this is another CD my dad gave me when I was in middle school. So this one and Smash, and I believe a greatest hits album from them. But I haven't listened to this in a long time. I really like We Are One. Kick Him When He's Down is cool. Burn It Up, that's another one I like. So it's a good record. Smash is, I think, obviously the superior one of the two that I have, but let's see what the inside looks like. The CD here, booklet. Underrated album, I think. Next up is an album that has been in my life for as long as I can remember. This is Hot Fuss by The Killers. Obviously lots and lots of hits on this album. Definitely their most popular. See the track list. Let's see. So side A for this album has all the hits pretty much. Jenny Was a Friend of Mine, Mr. Brightside, Smile Like You Mean It, Somebody Told Me, All the Things I've Done, Andy, You're a Star. All very popular songs. And I think everyone pretty much loves this record that's heard it, but I think people aren't as big on the B-side. I gotta say, I love the B-side. I think On Top, Change Your Mind, Believe Me, Natalie, those are some of the best songs on this album for me. The whole thing is pretty much perfect. I'm not huge on Everything Will Be Alright, but it's great, and it's a classic album for a reason. So that is Hot Fuss by The Killers, an album that is always on constant rotation for me and always has been. 2 copies of Enema of the State by Blink-182. This is my all-time favorite band. So the reason I have 2 is that this is the one without the red cross, and this is the one with the red cross. So I'm looking for a third copy, actually. And there's one that has the red cross and has an uppercase B. That is a misprint. And that is the first pressing of the album. So I am looking for a copy of that. I could order one online, but that's not as fun as finding it in a record store. The red cross, I believe I forget the name, but they didn't want to be associated with the album cover, so they had them take it off for future pressings. This is the most common cover. This one's kind of hard to find, and then the one with the uppercase B is even harder to find. But I think this album, this is like legitimately a top 10 album for me. This is so important to me as in who I am and what music I like and all that sort of stuff. My favorites are probably Dumpweed, Adam's Song, Going Away to College, Mutt. This is critical to who I am as a person. I love this record. I think it is absolutely perfect. I don't love every song on it. That's not what I mean by perfect. I think the way that it is laid out is perfect. Dumpweed being the opening track, Anthem being the closing track, the placement of the singles, Adam's Song being right before All the Small Things and right after Dysentery Gary. It is just how you do it. And it's not my favorite Blink album, but it is absolutely critical to who I am as a person, as I said. So that is Enema of the State. I could probably do an entire YouTube channel just dedicated to Blink-182 content. I have some galaxy brain stuff when it comes to Blink. We have a movie soundtrack here. We got the soundtrack to the movie Juno. Looks like this with Elliot Page and Michael Cera. Some cool songs on here. We got The Kinks and we got Barry Lewis Pulsar, Kimia Dawson, Buddy Holly. Lots and lots of cool songs. Sonic Youth. I bought this at a time when this album and this movie was kind of, I guess, a meme online with the whole Midwest emo stuff, and my friends and I kind of adopted this as like our personality for a little bit. Anyways, good movie, good soundtrack, so thought I'd pick it up. 2 albums here that I want to do. I want to do the All American Rejects Move Along and their self-titled album. These are the only 2 albums that I like from this band, but they are both like 10 out of 10 records. I'm not huge on them now. I saw them last year and I didn't love the live performance that I saw. But these 2 albums will always have a special place in my heart. So these are both albums that I was really into in middle school. This one is very nostalgic for me. Like, I have a hard time listening to it. It's so nostalgic. It reminds me of like being 15 and skateboarding and being sad and all that stuff. But some favorites on here for Move Along, I really love. The singles, obviously, Stab My Back is cool. 11:11 p.m. is cool. I like Straight Jacket Feeling, that's underrated in my opinion. Top of the World's another good one. Over here, the last song, Happy Endings, Drive Away, Time Stands Still, Don't Leave Me. Lots and lots of good songs on here. It is very of its time, though, I'm not going to lie. But both these albums, very important to me. Very, very important to me. The next one is Jimmy Eat World's Bleed American. This is another, like, very important album to me in middle school that I got into very early. Bleed American's a favorite. I love A Praise Chorus, Sweetness, Hear You Me, If You Don't. This entire album, honestly, is like perfect. This is like one of the best second to third wave emo albums that bridges that gap. I adore this. It is so perfect and so important to me. My favorite album from them. I have a few more CDs of theirs. I'm not going to show them off in this video, maybe another video, but that is Bleed American. 2 Green Day CDs. We got Warning. This is a bit of a departure in sound for them. I think it has sort of been reclaimed by the fans, which is great, but at the time it was not a loved record. Castaway's a favorite. I love Church on Sunday. Minority's an all-time favorite song of theirs for me. I love Warning, the opening track. Here's what the CD looks like, so that's neat. Underrated album. Don't love the album cover, but it is one that I have really grown to appreciate a lot over the years. So that is Warning by Green Day. Next one is Kerplunk. This has never been one that I have fully connected with. It's 16 tracks, well, it's 12 tracks and some bonus songs that are like covers, but I love 2000 Light Years, One for the Razorbacks, Welcome to Paradise, Who Wrote Holden Caulfield, and Christy Road, My Generation. That I like that cover a lot. Here's what the CD looks like. It's got a swirly thing on it. But yeah, no, this was never one that was like a favorite of mine. It's good. I don't put it on often, but I had to pick it up when I was younger because I was obsessed with this band. So that is Kerplunk. Alright, and then the final CD I want to show off is Plus 44 from Mark Hoppus and Travis Barker, their post Blink-182 side project. Here's what the CD looks like. We got the booklet. The booklet here is kind of cool. It is plus shaped, obviously because the band is Plus 44. So that is what the booklet looks like, but I think this is probably the peak of Mark's ability to write songs. Baby Come On, When Your Heart Stops Beating, Lycanthrope, No It Isn't, Make You Smile, Chapter 13, those are probably my favorites. Like half the album is some of the best stuff he's ever done. Very interesting album. It would be cool to see what would have happened if this band continued, but obviously Blink got back together, which is for the best. But big fan of this, big fan of what Mark is doing here, and yeah, love this album. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out my CDs with me and listen to me ramble about the things I liked in middle school and things I liked in high school. But maybe another time I will show off some more CDs of mine and some of the records I own. But until then, thank you so much for taking the time to listen and see my collection. Have a good day.